Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. Welcome back to our Sunday in the kitchen cooking series. I'm here, Auburn is right there. Sherri will be home actually kind of soon, so probably as we're making these, you guys will see her come home. And today we're actually making a couple of Halloween inspired sort of spooky snacks, spooky treats. Now, both of these things that we're making today, I've never made before, basically as with everything that we're making in this series. But these are things, Auburn, that you've made both of before, right? Mm-hmm. I actually saw the pumpkin, and apparently the eyeballs are also on her Instagram feed. So what we're making today are two different recipes. The first one is a cheese ball in the shape of a pumpkin. And you guys, it is adorable. And my favorite part so far about it is that we crush up cheese balls for the outside of it, which means that we had to buy cheese balls, which means that I get to eat cheese balls. Big fan of that. The second thing we're making are deviled eggs, but not any deviled eggs. These are, they look like what?
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs. So both of these super fun Halloween treats, and I think they're gonna be kind of easy. Like, I'm looking at the ingredients we have. It doesn't look too overwhelming, so let me show you what it's gonna take for these recipes. So the recipe we are gonna start with is the pumpkin-shaped cheese ball. And this is what we need. We have a thing of parsley. We have some fresh basil. We have some dill. We have some chives. A couple of bell peppers. Auburn, does it matter the color of bell pepper?
The color does not matter. What you want the bell pepper for is the stem. We have two of them because Adam and I like to use bell peppers to dip in stuff. But you're looking for a stem that can be used as like a pumpkin stem. Perfect.
And we'll show what that looks like later on. I love that. We have some shredded cheese. We have cheddar jack, but you could use different kind of cheese.
Yeah.
We have two things of Philadelphia cream cheese, and then we have some garlic salt, some toothpicks, and just
other garlic salt.
Other garlic salt, a couple of mixing bowls, and most importantly, cheese balls. All right, Auburn, first thing we are doing is what?
We're gonna put the bricks of cream cheese into the bowl.
Okay.
You could do this in an electric mixer, you could do this with a hand mixer, but I think that actually whips it.
Oh.
And it puts too much air into it, and then when you make it form the final ball, it falls. So I like it to be more dense, so I like to do this by hand.
Nice. So now Auburn is just kind of mixing it up a little bit.
They're really cold, so they're still really stiff. You want to do this with warmer cream cheese, but since we're in a hurry, we're not waiting long enough for these to get up to room temperature.
So just like room temperature cream cheese would be best?
Yeah, room temperature cream cheese would be better because then it wouldn't do that.
That's one bite though. If it sticks together, that means it's one serving.
That's not what you want it to look like.
Oh. And you just added in some spice. What'd you add?
The garlic, salt.
Nice.
And it's got a little bit of like French herbs in there.
Awesome.
Because we're going to be using some of the fresh herbs that are in that garlic salt. So we've got basil, we've got dill, we've got chives, and parsley.
Nice.
I like to add the powder seasoning early. I mean, we finally got it soft enough that it's going to work in, but since we're going to do a lot of stirring when we add the cheese and the herbs, I want to have the seasoning in there already so it is more evenly distributed.
Can we also talk about how on brand you are? We're making Halloween recipes and you're wearing your Sanderson Museum of Witchcraft shirt.
Right?
Very, very nice, Auburn.
Yep.
Now adding the shredded cheese into the cream cheese mixture. And you're adding that whole bag, is that right?
The whole bag.
And that was, just so you guys know, an 8-ounce bag of the shredded cheese into there. And as with all of our recipes, we're gonna include a link down below to the recipe that we're kind of using as a guideline. Just so you know, as with most recipes, and I appreciate this about Auburn, she is kind of putting her own little twist on this, so their recipe that we're gonna link down below isn't exactly what we're doing, but it will give you at least a guideline if you wanted to try this. We're just making a few small changes. Chopping parsley.
Yep.
So the parsley's been chopped and added. Now Auburn is getting out some of the dill, and you're gonna basically chop it up and just add it in there, right?
Yes, can you smell that?
It smells amazing.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
In go the chives. Auburn just cut those up. And so the last thing we have to cut up is the fresh basil. So now that all of the herbs are cut up in there, Auburn is now starting to cut the pumpkin. And again, you're just trying to just save the stem, right?
This is a pepper.
I'm a moron. Yep, this is a pepper. So this is kind of what she's looking for. Putting a toothpick in there.
You stab it all the way up in there. So then when you make the cheese ball, and the cheese ball is going to be bigger than my fist, but it will just stab right into the top and it'll look like a little pumpkin.
That's so smart.
And it's cute.
It is cute, and it totally looks like the top of a pumpkin stem. Genius.
And now we can use the pepper
To eat. Love it.
Yep.
And then we're just gonna save the rest of the, not pumpkin, the rest of the pepper pieces and use those as a dip.
A shovel.
A shovel for the
pumpkin,
dip.
yeah.
I cannot speak today. Holy cow. Auburn, what are you doing now?
Mixing. Stir, stir, stir.
And you're just trying to make sure that everything is just mixed together, right?
Yep. We've got a big clump of cream cheese at the bottom. We're trying to mix everything into.
And you could use, like, if you wanted something just super simple, like you could just put this in a dish and use this as dip, just as is. But
that's not the fun of the cheese ball.
Exactly. You Triscuit?
Yep.
Because it would be unwise to not try it at this point.
Well, it's true, and not just because I want to eat this, but now is the time to finish seasoning this. So if it needs more salt, if you think it needs more garlic or more whatever, then now is the time to add it because we're going to cool it. And when we cool it, you're not going to be able to change the shape of it. It's just going to be too hard.
So anything that needs to be added to this as far as flavor-wise, what you'd want, now's the time. Which is also the perfect excuse to try it. Now, we are transferring this cheese mixture into a smaller bowl that Auburn has like lined with saran wrap.
And this is to get the general shape. This is not how it's going to end up.
Okay.
Really, it's going to be close, but we want it to be sort of in this kind of shape.
So you're kind of just packing it in a smaller round bowl to give it the general idea of the shape you want?
Yes.
And then we're going to chill it in this bowl as well, right?
Yep. And then we'll do some final hand forming in a bit.
Okay.
After it cools down.
Into the fridge, it's going to go, Auburn says, for about 10 or 15 minutes. Also, don't judge our fridge. While our cheese ball mixture is chilling in the fridge, we are getting started on our second fun Halloween snack. These are going to be deviled eggs that look like eyeballs, very spooky and scary. Auburn is cutting up the hard-boiled eggs in half. Now, full confession, and I love, love, love time-saving tricks like this. We bought hard-boiled eggs because they're just so simple.
They're already cooked and peeled.
Exactly.
So they're saving us 45 minutes right now.
So
much frustration.
Yep, super happy to do this. Makes this recipe even easier.
So we're just popping the hard-boiled egg yolks into the bowl.
Leaving these little
egg cups.
Full confession, I don't know that I had ever made hard-boiled eggs before your either first or second trip here when we made them. And I was addicted to them for a while and kept making them after you had left because I didn't realize how stinking easy hard-boiled eggs, or I mean deviled eggs, are.
When you don't have to boil and peel the eggs,
it's so quick.
So easy.
I agree. Oh, also didn't show you the other ingredients we're going to need for this. Obviously, we have hard-boiled eggs here. And then we've got yellow mustard, mayonnaise, we've got some food coloring, smoked paprika, some pickles, but we're just going to use the pickled juice from that. And then we've got some pickled garlic in here, and you will see why later. So Auburn just mashed up the yolks a little bit.
Yes, I did.
Just got them mixed up, and now what are you doing?
We need mayonnaise.
Yum. And stir that all up.
Stir. Trying to get rid of all those lumps. See all those lumps?
We want them gone.
Gone, gone, gone. You want smooth filling in your deviled egg eyeballs.
And in goes the yellow mustard. Okay, question for you.
What?
We're just using like the typical yellow mustard. Could you use other kinds of mustard in this? Like, could you use like a Grey Poupon or a stone ground mustard?
You certainly can.
Okay.
I've done that before.
Uh-huh.
When I do Grey Poupon mustard, I also add horseradish.
Oh my gosh. I bet that's great.
And maybe sometimes a little bit of Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Now we're just adding a little bit of pickle juice. We're not going to use any of the pickles, correct?
Correct.
Just some of the juice.
Just some of the juice for a little bit of twang.
Now some people do add like relish, right? Or chopped up pickles.
Yep.
So deviled eggs, you kind of can make
however you want.
I love that.
Yep.
Auburn's added a little bit of garlic salt to this, which I am completely fine with because I'm one of those believers that garlic salt should pretty much just go in everything.
In everything. Except maybe ice cream.
That's probably true.
Now, if I was going to be the only one eating this, I would grate some raw garlic and put it in here.
Ooh, yum.
But since it's not going to be just me eating these. And since I'm going to be around other people. But if you're afraid of vampires, maybe just put some grated garlic in here.
That's a good point. Raw garlic keeps the vampires away and gives you a delicious treat. Now, Sherri and I actually do have a piping bag that I bought just for deviled eggs when I was on my deviled egg kick. But you also could use just like...
Ziploc bag.
And just like cut off the corner?
I've also just used a spoon and just dolloped it in there. If you're really lazy, just serve it like this, and you can use your little egg cup
as a dip.
Dipper.
That's such a good idea.
They transport easier that way.
That totally makes sense.
Here's a deviled egg tip. If you're taking deviled eggs to a party, take this in a bowl or a Ziploc bag or something. Take these in a Ziploc bag. Take your platter separately. Don't try to assemble them at home and then take them. Just take it all, assemble it there. It's going to be so much easier.
And the assembling is super simple. So it's not like that's going to take long wherever you get.
Right.
Good tip.
Yep.
Auburn is mixed in blue food coloring. Now, obviously, you can make these any color you wanted. We are going blue.
Plus yellow is meaning they're probably going to be like a greenish eye.
Which is kind of monstery.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
All right, so what are you doing now?
Okay, we all know that most deviled eggs have paprika sprinkled over the top of them to make them look pretty. And mostly what it does is it adds color and not much flavor. Scary eyeballs have sclera, which is like the red lines in the eyeballs. So we are going to make a paprika drizzle to drizzle over the eggs to look sort of like sclera.
Along with paprika, she added a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of olive oil to make that glaze.
You want to do this just a teeny little bit of oil at a time, because once it's there, you don't want to make it too runny or it'll just run right off the eggs.
So that's kind of what you were looking for, that consistency?
You want a drizzle consistency. So you want it to run off of the spoon.
Okay.
Because we're going to drizzle this over the eggs.
Got it.
If you wanted this to have more flavor, you could use hot Hungarian paprika.
Ooh.
We are using the Spanish smoked paprika, which has like a smoky flavor, which is what most paprikas do. But hot Hungarian paprika is a little bit spicier.
Okay, so we moved the eggs to a plate that we're going to just serve them on or kind of store them on. And now it is drizzle time. Ooh. So all of the drizzle is on there, looking all spooky. So we put the egg mixture in the piping bag. Auburn is now starting to pipe in there. So Auburn just added the pupils in the middle of the eye, and we actually called an audible at the end. We were going to use chopped up like pickled garlic. I think that Auburn has used olives, like black olives before, right? You could kind of use anything you wanted that would go in the middle of these. We actually went with peppercorns, like whole peppercorns. She didn't have pepper in the mix that she put in. And so the peppercorn in there is going to add that nice pop of pepper. Plus, look how ghoulish of an eye that is. Isn't that great? With like the white around the edge, the bloodshot of the red, the green like monster eye, and then the peppercorn pupil. I think these look awesome. So now that the deviled eggs are done, we are moving back onto the finishing touches of the pumpkin cheese ball, or the pumpkin shaped cheese ball. And so we have a bunch of cheese balls in here, and now we're just going to kind of pulse them up in our food processor. So I think that's pretty good. Let's open this up. Oh my gosh, that looks awesome.
You could also use nacho cheese corn chips, aka Doritos.
Oh, like Doritos, yeah.
But I prefer these.
Nice. So Auburn just took the cheese ball out of the fridge.
I'm going to leave the plastic on.
Oh, okay.
Because we are going to press the top a little bit.
Yep.
Like a pumpkin. And then we're going to kind of give little pumpkin indents.
Oh, like the little ridges.
Yep, just like that.
Okay, just so you guys know, when we were at the store, I asked Auburn if we needed a mold. Because I saw the photo of one of these she made on her Instagram, and I just assumed it was some kind of a mold you put the cheese in. Nope.
A bowl.
A bowl and your finger.
And your fingers.
Okay. Now the moment of truth, the big reveal. Oh my gosh. It looks so cool. So now we're taking the cheese ball dust.
And you're going to sort of pack it on.
Okay.
because you want to cover your little pumpkin.
So this is just basically for color on the outside.
Yep.
Yum.
I think we are just about there.
Mm-hmm.
Just going through and making sure my ridges are still there, and some of them are not.
You got covered up by cheese ball dust.
That's right. So, for the final touch, we add our little pumpkin stem just like that.
That is so stinking cute. Are you kidding me? What a great Halloween or fall like treat. And honestly, this was so simple to make. Just like mixed up the ingredients, formed this in a bowl, chilled it in the fridge, ground up some cheese balls, plus you got to eat cheese balls while you were doing it, and then look how cute that is. I absolutely love that. So here are the two recipes side by side, the pumpkin cheese ball and then the spooky deviled eggs. I love that. I think that they're both so fun, so easy. We did both of these recipes in like, how long?
Half an hour?
Half an hour.
45 minutes?
Totally. And they're both, I don't know, I just think they're super fun. I love them. Sherri just got home from work, so when Sherri gets down here, we will get her thoughts on how they look as well. Sherri's home from work. Sherri Beth, you want to come downstairs and see the recipe we made today?
Yes.
All right, Sherri Beth. First time seeing the pumpkin cheese ball.
So cute.
And the spooky deviled egg eyeballs. What do you think?
I think they're really cute.
They look good?
Yep.
More importantly, do you want to eat them?
Yes.
Let's do it. Sherri's choosing which deviled egg she's going to have. She's going with that one. All right, moment of truth. Because looking cool is one thing. They have to taste good as well. Good?
And they do.
Excellent. Sherri is taking the first dip into the
As is Auburn.
cheese ball pumpkin. So is Auburn. All right, Auburn. Your labor of love. Good? Yeah? Yeah?
I'm just gonna eat the rest of this for lunch.
So they're digging in. So I am going to go and dig in as well. So friends, we hope that you have enjoyed this Halloween themed in the kitchen with Auburn knives. We made the pumpkin shaped cheese ball and the spooky Halloween deviled egg eyes. Both of these were super simple. These were recipes that I feel like I could do on my own, which I love. I feel like they were easy, but the best part about any recipe is eating it. So that is what we're gonna go do now. Friends, thanks for watching. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next LeggLife video.